Who are you?
I am an invisible man. No, I am not a spook like those who haunted Edgar Allan Poe. I am a man of substance, of flesh and bone, fiber and liquids, and I might even be said to possess a mind. I am invisible, understand, simply because people refuse to see me. It took me a long time and much painful boomeranging of my expectations to achieve a realization everyone else appears to have been born with, that I am nobody but myself. But first, I had to discover that I am an invisible man.
As a black man growing up in the South, the invisible man struggled to find an identity of his own in a society that refused to see him. As a young man, he is offered a scholarship to an all-black state college. He becomes a model student and hopes to one day work with Dr. Bledsoe, the head of the school. When the invisible man is asked to drive a wealthy white trustee of the college, Mr. Norton, around the campus, things go horribly wrong. Dr. Bledsoe expels the invisible man for his mishaps with Dr. Norton, and the invisible man is sent packing with several letters of recommendation as he heads to Harlem in search of work.
The narrator travels to the bright lights and bustle of 1930s Harlem, where he looks unsuccessfully for work. The letters of recommendation are of no help. The invisible man eventually gets a low-paying job at the Liberty Paints plant. One day, he's involved in a terrible accident that causes an explosion at the factory. The invisible man is left in the hospital and without work.
One day, the narrator witnesses the eviction of an elderly black couple from their Harlem apartment. Standing before the crowd of people gathered before the apartment, he gives an impassioned speech against the eviction. Brother Jack overhears his speech and offers him a position as a spokesman for the Brotherhood, a political organization that allegedly works to help the socially oppressed. After initially rejecting the offer, the narrator takes a job and joins the Brotherhood.
The invisible man joins the Brotherhood and meets several of its members, and even its enemies, including Ras the Exhorter, a black nationalist who opposes the interracial Brotherhood. The invisible man soon discovers that the Brotherhood is not at all what it seems, and he becomes determined to undermine the organization. When others learn of its rebellious plans, he is forced to go into hiding, accidentally assuming the identity of a man named Reinhardt.
While the invisible man is on the run from his enemies, Harlem breaks out into chaos. The invisible man returns in the midst of a full-fledged riot, where he is discovered by Ras the Exeter. Ras calls for him to be lynched, and the invisible man flees, eventually stumbling down a manhole, tumbling into the darkness.
The invisible man has stayed underground ever since. The ending of his story is also the beginning, thus revealing his thematic struggle to honor his individual complexity and remain true to his own identity without sacrificing his responsibility to the community. After he has finished retelling this story, he states that he finally feels ready to emerge from the underground and shed his invisibility.